is SHOT Show TV. I'm Rachel Kopchak, and I'm coming to you live from inside the SHOT Show TV studio. We're right in the middle of the Sands Expo Hall. It's pretty exciting here at SHOT Show 2016, and I'm joined now by the Executive Director of SAAMI, Richard Patterson. It's great to be with you.
Well, thank you, Rachel. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, what's SAAMI? A lot of people don't know what it is, so why don't you fill us in?
Well, I appreciate that opportunity because we've been doing what we do since 1926,
Wow.
but we do it quietly. So we're out there creating the technical standards for safety, reliability, and interchangeability for every aspect of the design, the manufacture, the transportation, the storage, and the use of firearms, ammunition, and components.
All right, that's a lot.
It
Why
is.
don't you break it down sort of in layman's terms a little
Okay.
bit? Give us examples in the real world how what you do applies to the people who are here right now. How do they implement what you're doing into their daily life?
Oh, great question. Fundamentally, the most basic thing that we do is we make sure a 30-06 cartridge manufactured by one company will operate safely and reliably in a 30-06 rifle manufactured by another company. That's the basic fundamentals. Now, the actual implementation of that goes, it's pretty extreme. You've got all of your measurement protocols. You have to have all of the standards for the pressure and velocity test equipment. You have to have standards for how you calibrate that test equipment. You have to have standards for how you operate that test equipment, all to make sure that firearms and ammunition operate safely and reliably. And it gets right down to the level of detail of what we affectionately call the SAAMI twist.
Okay, what's that? What's the SAAMI twist?
The SAAMI twist is how you manipulate the cartridge, inserting it into the test equipment to get that nth degree of reliability and consistency between the test stations from one manufacturer to another.
I mean, this is really important work that you're doing because safety is always a priority for anybody who's here. And, you know, people's eyes glaze over a little bit when you hear like anything sort of government-y and regulations, but this is actually really important work what you're doing.
It is, and you know, the fact that it is out there, people don't even think about. They know when they buy rounds, cartridges manufactured by one company and put it into a firearm with a matching head stamp to match the barrel stamp from another company, that it will operate safely and reliably. It will go bang. It's not going to go click. It's not going to go boom.
Right.
And both of those are very, very important.
What else do you want people here at SHOT Show to know about SAAMI and what you guys do?
Oh, there's much, much more to the SAAMI organization. We are very involved with every level of government regulator, up to and including the United Nations. We just recently changed the transportation regulations at the United Nations, and we created what's called a limited quantity exemption, which you really don't need to know. But what you do need to know is, as a result of that, it saves the shooting sports community more than $300 million a year in not having to pay hazardous material shipping costs. So we were able to change that to accurately reflect safe transportation and storage of the product without having to go into onerous hazardous materials record keeping and transportation issues.
Yeah. I think everybody loves to hear that that you saved them money. You know, that's a pretty nice thing. Now, can you speak a little bit about some of the executive order? And I know there's been some change. They want to really change how, from shipping manufacturers to if a product gets lost and all of that. How are you guys handling that?
Well, there's a lot of challenges to that. Who does the reporting? I mean, you have to have a very clear, specific guidelines of responsibility, and who is in the best position to know that a firearm has been lost or stolen in transit.
Right.
And the executive orders are just not addressing that. So they need to be specific, they need to be realistic, and that's really one of the areas where SAAMI comes in. We are all about facts and science. And that information has to be incorporated into any decisions if you're going to have an effective regulation that will make a difference in the world. And you know, we want to make sure that firearms are in the right hands. We want to make sure that firearms and ammunition operate safely and reliably. We want to make sure that it's being transported safely, and you know, people aren't being put in harm's way. And we've done that very, very effectively. There has never been an accident from the transportation of SAAMI member company products. So it's a tremendous safety record that we've built, but it requires the science and the facts in those decision-making processes. And sadly, on the political level, sometimes those are ignored.
Right.
And we see that up to and including the United Nations, which we're a United Nations non-government organization. We've been an NGO since 2005, and providing that technical input, although we've been working with the transportation side of the UN for more than 40 years.
Right.
And it is frustrating when you have the facts and the science, it's deliberately being ignored.
Right, right. But you guys are still doing good work, and you're going to continue to do more good work. If people want to know more about SAAMI, or if they want to get involved or learn about your work, where can they go?
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, the SAAMI website is the resource at www.saami.org.
Mm-hmm.
We have also published our performance standards, so
Great.
if you want to know what the official specifications for a chamber dimension are, it's right there in those standards. You can find it on the website.
Great.
Also, a lot of the speeches, the input that we're providing to various government agencies are on there. So you can see what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, and what some of the challenges are around the world, because it is a global issue.
Yes. All right, well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank you.
Richard. All right, that's it for now from the SHOT Show TV studio. I'm Rachel Kopchak.